It's time for the Southern Mallee Giants report, and it is Sammy White. He's back. He's looking forward to playing again. He's that excited. He joins us now. G'day, Sammy. How are you?
Yeah, it's going well. Thanks, Flowman.
Well, it's smoko time on the farm as you're joining us. We're recording a little bit earlier before the show. And just tell me, what does that mean to you? A few moments off to rest the ankle a bit more and get it cherry ripe for the weekend?
Yeah, that's it, Flowman. We're just doing a bit of maintenance on a bit of the hay machinery at the moment. So good time to get a cuppa in and kick the feet up for a bit.
Yeah, feet up. How's the ankle from the syndinosis? Is it good enough to play this weekend?
Yeah, it's been a long recovery, Flowman. I think it's been nearly this weekend will be about 7.5 weeks post-surgery. So I'm looking forward to getting back out there. Had a good week on the track and it's feeling really good. So hopefully it holds up for this first game.
Yeah, I hope so, and take care with it. All right, let's have a look at last week. And it was a celebration for the Beulah Blues at the Beulah Park because they got 3 wins from 3 matches. The Southern Mallee Giants, 9-14-68, beat a very competitive Nhill in this game, 8-8-56. Well played, Giants.
Yes, it was a tough day. Nhill it was a very physical game, and Nhill sort of put us on the back foot early. I think they kicked the first 3 goals in the first quarter, and definitely turned up to play. But to our credit, we sort of gradually grinded back and got the win in the end.
You got the win, but you had to fight in that latter part of the first quarter. You kicked those 2 goals to get it back on some sort of even ground. The second quarter was good football, 3-1. The third quarter, 3-4. They fought back and got within 2 points, and then it was game on. But you kicked 1 goal, 6 in the last. Should have put them away. They only get 2 points. Was there an issue with the goal kicking in the last quarter? Were there shots that were easy being missed, or was it rushed behinds?
We had a lot of longer shots at goal, and quite a few sort of got spoiled through. I think 1 or 2 got rushed, but it was just sort of one of those games. Nhill made it a real sort of grind. It was a lot of contested balls, a lot of stoppages, and sort of just a really physical game of football. So it was good to see the boys get the win in the end.
And what about Jacko Fisher? 2 goals from him and best on ground. Billy Lloyd, a purple patch too. And Oscar Smith having an absolute belter. A great season from him. Those 3 have really stood up in recent weeks.
Yeah, Jacko's having a great year. He's been playing that wing role perfectly. Everyone knows he can kick a ball about 60 metres, so every time you get out to him on the wing, he's a great user. Big, long, deep entries to the forward line, which really breaks the game open for us. And then, Oscar Smith, he's come back. He's his 4th game back since he's hurt his knee, and he's starting to find some form again too, which is great to see coming into finals.
He's a tall boy and a mobile tall boy around the ground. When you've got those 2 big men running around the ground with Jake Garvey back in the side, provides you a lot of extra marking power. Let's have a look at this. The reserves, I'll tell you, this was pretty exciting stuff. There was a bit of cheering going on the sidelines for a couple of the old Beulah Blues boys who are still out in the park, and it was 6-10-46 to Nhill, 5-4-34 and a memorable win.
Yes, it was a great turnaround from the Twos boys. Flowman obviously getting absolutely belted down in Ararat the week before. The boys regrouped and come out firing on Saturday, and we were able to grind out a win. It was close to a game, and it's probably one of the best 2 games I've sort of watched throughout the year. So, it's amazing what a few good players back into the team can do.
It is, and you've got some good young guns. I noticed in the better players, Deck Brown and Cody Frankel, Caden Petchell, Hudson McCredden, all young blokes. Dill Martian was their best player. And Tim Sanford, one of the veterans.
So Timmy Sanford, he just got back from holidays from over in Europe, so that was his first game back. He's just easing back into it. And then Mick Saunders, he's obviously a veteran of the club, played over 250 games, and he played in the premiership back in 2003 with some of the Beulah boys who were having the reunion, so they were giving him plenty of stick out in the ground, which is great to see.
Nice to see the great man Tex Donnan, I'm going to call him, Taylor Donnan, 2 goals from the power forward. He's actually doubled his score in the last few weeks. He's kicking goals regularly for the season, and 7 for the year is I think a good return from Tex.
Yeah, it's about time he kicked a few through the big sticks. I think he missed about 3 or 4 as well for him, man. They don't put that in the paper, but he's a bit of a target up forward, and he's he's playing well towards the end of the season. Speaking of kicking goals, Jado Cook kicked his first ever goal in the reserves on the weekend, and right in front of the crowd in the pocket there. So he was pretty happy with himself there too.
Yeah, good on you, Jado. The celebration doesn't match Declan Brown's first senior goal, though, which is the stuff of legends at Hopeton. What about this junior match, the under-14s? There was a Southern Mallee Giants 5-8-38 to Nhill 5-3-33. They came at you late, but they didn't have enough in their tank, and it was hang on tight, the Southern Mallee Giants.
Yeah, exactly right. It was an arm wrestle all day. And then, come the last quarter, the older boys really stood up and sort of kept a level head. I think the boys were only 3 points up for the last probably 5 minutes, and it was a real arm wrestle, sort of going back and forth between the two 50s. But each time, the Giants got it, they were able to slow it down, find a mark, and get it back, get repeat entries back inside 50, which is what they were meant to do, and were able to sort of hold the Nhill boys off.
I'll tell you what, there's some unsung heroes. Leith Horman in the best players. Good to see his name there. Jacob Southern, another one in the better players. Great to see his name. Maxie Roberts with 2. Kobe with a Y, Hallam 1. Parker Hallam and Finn Shannon also booted 1 goal. And Colt Decker in the best players. They did come up to me at the field days and tell me that they do like it when I say the Axel and Colt Decker names there, Sammy.
Yeah, a couple of rippers, aren't they? That all the boys, really put on a performance on the weekend. So it was a really deserving win. It's probably one of the closer games that's sort of won throughout the year. Often it's either sort of they're losing by a bit or winning by a bit. So it's really good to see that they can sort of grind out a close game.
It certainly was. Obviously, Ararat won their game against Minyat Mato, which makes it a bit harder. We'll talk about that now because we go to the matches. Southern Mallee Giants that take on Warrack Eagles at senior level. It's a Sammy White show. Back into the side and at Anzac Park. One of the adversaries for you blokes are down there at Warrack. I think you can get the job done.
Yeah, hopefully so, man. Obviously, Warrack had a bit of a tough year so far. They're yet to win a game. We'll turn up. I think there's a few players that are going to... I think Tyler Emmons, his body's a bit beat up, so he's going to have a week off. And then a couple of the Gold Coast boys who have been coming up the last however many weeks might rest the legs this week. But, they're still... the first time we played them, they still definitely put up a fight, Warrack. So can't take them too lightly. But we think we've still definitely got a team on the park that can be able to get the win.
I noticed Matty Bellinger is up there and Braden Carra in your senior lineup. Tim Sanford comes into the side. So you brought some players back into that side. Dill Marshman, too's back up there after a good game in the twos last week.
Yeah. Dylan had a great game last week in the twos. He was definitely best on ground. He ran hard through the middle all day. You know he's going to give 100%. So, definitely the right call up there.
And the reserves is going to be interesting because for them, Warrack have been at the bottom of the ladder. So your blokes have got a win last week over Nhill. I reckon a real show here to beat Warrack in the reserves. And if you can do that, then that would be a very impressive finish to the season. And Big Tex Donnan up there, he could double his goals this weekend.
Yeah, he could. He could go back-to-back, Flowman. I think they're calling it the battle for the wooden spoon. So I think if we get the win here, we should get ourselves up off the bottom of the ladder, which is a good incentive. So hopefully the boys can bounce back again and hopefully get another win.
The Warrack Eagles are 4th on the ladder in the under-14s. You blokes are 6th. Any chance of playing finals, you'd have to have things go your right way with Ararat. But the Warrack Eagles did you pretty easily last time the two sides met at your home deck. This is a chance for the lads to play team football and see if they can just beat another side above them in the top 5 and give themselves a very outside chance of finals footy.
Yeah, that's it, Flo, man. I had a bit of a chat to the boys on Wednesday night. I think Kobe Hallam, the ruckman, he's out this week. He's got a basketball tournament on, so I think Spencer Williams is going to have to fill his shoes, which will be a big ask for him. But the boys were telling me that Warrack also have their ruckman out as well, so might level the playing field a bit. So, big ask for the boys. But, if they can keep playing like they did last week, I definitely think they're in with the chance to get another win. And, potentially, obviously, they need the right sort of draw for Ararat to sort of play out to make finals. But, if they get this win, they're still in with a sniff.
Yeah, certainly are. Hoped in the following week against the Horsham D's will be an event at the club. We'll tell you more about it next week. It is a massive weekend of country football for the Southern Mallee Giants across the 3 grades, and I'll look forward to having a chat to you about it. Coleman's gone missing a bit of late. He hasn't been sending me any texts through, but they tell me that it might just be that he's been too busy to talk to the Flowman because he's having another baby.
Yes, yeah, great news. Coming out the other week that Jess and Cole are expecting another kid. So yeah, he's keep him even more on his toes, I reckon, Flowman.
Yeah, I reckon he used to be tipping me off with some texts and the things I should be asking you, Sammy, but he's gone quiet, so we'll see if he's not quite on the footy field this week. That'll be the key question, and I look forward to seeing whether you're quite on the footy field and getting through on that ankle injury. I hope that you go well, mate. You have a good weekend.
Cheers, Wayne.